So at each commencement, we honor a leader in our community and in our Commonwealth who has rendered extraordinary service to the college, our students, and our community. It is with great gratitude and admiration that I present this year's President's Distinguished Service Award to Mr. Robert A. DeLeo, our beloved Speaker of the Massachusetts House of Representatives. Mr. Speaker, why don't you join me at the podium so we can see you? So I can say good things about you. Okay. Speaker DeLeo has represented the 19th Suffolk District, including the town of Winthrop and a portion of the city of Revere, in the Mass House of Representatives since 1991. He is a graduate of Boston Latin School and a Bachelor of Arts degree from Northeastern University and a Juris Doctor from Suffolk University Law School, and became the Speaker of the House in 2009. Speaker DeLeo is widely known for his support of public higher education in the Bay State. Last year, he visited our campus to welcome students on the first day of the STEM Starter Academy, a community college initiative that he championed. We have managed to inform, engage, recruit, retain, and graduate significantly more students through STEM pathway programs because of this. The speaker successfully created more internship opportunities for 2- and 4-year college students by earmarking funds under the 2012 Economic Development Law to create the Mass Tech Intern Partnership. He also steered approval of the Higher Education Capital Improvement Act to promote the development of the Commonwealth's life sciences industry. Among the speaker's many honors are the Governor Walter Peterson Award for Leadership from the New England Board of Higher Education in 2014, the Attorney General Martha Coakley's Victim Witness Assistant Legislator of the Year in 2014, and the Legislative Achievement Award from the Massachusetts Association of Early Education and Care in 2017. But closer to my heart and closer to our mission here at the college, I know the speaker to be a genuine, heartfelt advocate of who we are as a community college and as a community, and that his parents and his heritage speaks to all of the potential that you can achieve because he achieved them so well and so honorably. So it is my pleasure to introduce this year's President's Distinguished Service Award and Commencement Speaker, Massachusetts House Speaker, Mr. Robert A. DeLeo. We got a photo to take. So the photographer's in front of us. Thank you.
Madam President, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this great award, and I am so honored to accept it. I'm not only proud to receive it, but I have to tell you how excited I am to be here. A speaker's schedule generally involves, especially on a Saturday and Sunday, anywhere from 5 to 10 different invitations. This one, I accepted the very next day, no matter what else was on my schedule, because I was so excited to be here. And I'm excited to be here because of how inspired I am, and how inspired I am to be in the presence of a community college, and how inspired I am to be in the presence of each and every one of you, the class of 2017. You are the students that we celebrate here today. I'd be remiss also if I didn't thank your president. In the relatively short time that she has come to Massachusetts, we have seen great things in terms of going on here at Bunker Hill Community College. I can tell you that she has become one of the most popular figures not only in the State House, but throughout the Commonwealth of Massachusetts because of the strides that she has made and because of her commitment to the community college system. Madam President, thank you very much. And let me, so we're talking about diversity today. let me honor you with the greatest thing that I can give you as an Italian American, a hug. You must realize that Bunker Hill Community College plays a vital role here in Massachusetts, and especially locally. It stands on the front lines of preparing our students for the economy of the future. You will go on to work in fields that are both exciting and crucial to the fabric of our Commonwealth. Whether it's through teaching our youngest children or working at a tech company, many of you will be responsible for carrying out the groundbreaking innovation and research that takes place in our great state of Massachusetts. Bunker Hill is a very unique institution. This campus lies less than 2 miles away from Kendall Square, where 13 of the world's top 20 biopharma firms have major offices, as do some of the most revolutionary companies, including Google, Facebook, and Microsoft. As Speaker, I've made visits to many of these companies. And do you know what their leaders talk to me about? You. That's who they talk to me about. The workers of the future who will propel this economy. You. Each and every one of you. If you come from a background like mine, a kid from East Boston who grew up in a 3-decker, who was the first in his class to graduate from college, you may have thought that companies like the ones in Kendall Square are only looking for graduates of Harvard and MIT. For many roles, companies do look at these and other universities. But their leadership knows that without thinkers and doers like each and every one of you, that they can't succeed. A few weeks ago, I heard that loudly and clearly when I participated in a panel at MIT on the subject of building skills for an inclusive economy, along with a gentleman by the name of Eric Schmidt, who I'm sure most of you know who he is, the executive chairman of Alphabet, the parent company of Google. After I delivered my usual pitch and speech of why we should enhance our focus on community colleges, as I do everywhere I go, like Bunker Hill, Schmidt acknowledged what many of us know to be true, and that is that diversity and inclusion are really good business. In 2010, the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston issued a notable policy paper titled Mismatch in the Labor Market. That report represents a critical and now widely accepted axiom. In an increasingly dynamic and global economy, companies require employees with a range of skill sets. Diversifying our workforce helps businesses, and it helps Massachusetts. It helps us beat our competitors and respond creatively to challenges. The Fed report goes on to describe the type of work it's needed, and I quote, individuals with some college education or an associate's degree who are needed to fill the critical jobs in healthcare, in education, information technology, and other growing occupations. You are those prospective employees, and I believe that Bunker Hill has given each and every one of you the tools to help businesses adapt, compete, and to grow. The importance of preserving academic diversity was driven home at MIT as our conversation moved from tech to human services. Each of the panelists that was there, including myself obviously, agreed that community colleges play an invaluable role in educating individuals who work with our most vulnerable populations, from our youngest children to our aging population. I was pleased to hear this widely recognized because I've spent much of the past year working with the Massachusetts business community on the importance of investing in high-quality early education and care, and thinking about how we can better support this vital workforce. Throughout that process, I learned that Bunker Hill Community College's Early Childhood Development Education and Human Services Department was a model program for the rest of our state. To those of you, which I presume are most of the people who just applauded, who will go on to work in early education, thank you. You're doing a service to your community. When I became speaker in 2009, I wasn't overly familiar with the statistics and studies about the Commonwealth's workforce. But it was the height of the economic downturn. I was worried about jobs. I saw constituents and their children struggling. I knew that union workers were hit particularly hard as part of what researchers at Northeastern called the blue-collar depression. I knew that we had to do something. At that time, I picked up a controversial cause, one that I received a great deal of criticism over, and that was the issue of legalizing gaming in Massachusetts. I didn't do this from an inherent love of gambling. Rather, I saw this sector as a potential source of jobs and a source of revenue. I thought that if we could harness a portion of the licensing revenue from gaming facilities and commit those funds to community colleges, we could strengthen the labor force in an area where a gap existed and provided much needed skills to students who had an appetite for them. A few years later, I should say, I'm proud to say that's exactly what we did. Since the passing of the gaming legislation in 2011, we've taken in over $30 million in dedicated revenues, which has solely benefited community colleges in Massachusetts. That's okay, you can applaud for that. Thank you, Judge McHugh, by the way. This first step in 2011 encouraged me to think about how else we could support our community colleges. After a visit to the Florida community college system, which was considered to be one of the finest that there is in the country, I saw firsthand how the curricula of community colleges could be tied to the local workforce. I began brainstorming on ideas where we might make an impact in the lives of our own students. I soon learned that many students had a distinct interest in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. And given that many students would be entering the workforce soon, they were uniquely positioned to think critically about these subjects. From there, the so-called STEM Starter Academy was born. Very quickly, institutions such as Springfield Technical Community College, Mass Bay Community College, Massasoit Community College, and yes, Bunker Hill Community College embraced STEM Starter Academies. Students found a way to bolster their skills and gain the necessary tools to pursue work in the STEM fields. Last year, I had an opportunity to see what was going on right here at Bunker Hill. I visited students on the first day of the STEM Starter Academy. Seeing the classrooms and getting a chance to personally meet our students was inspiring to me. I know that they are on the path to success. Some of you have participated in the STEM Starter, or I know the faculty leading, or at least know the faculty leading this program. What you may not know is the enthusiastic response that we have gotten from employers. Cutting-edge companies such as Genzyme are hiring community college students because they can hit the ground running. Microsoft takes 20 Bunker Hill Community College interns a year to work in what they call their so-called garage program. More broadly, companies that traditionally recruit from Ivy League schools are turning to community colleges because they, like I, believe success is far more than the specific skills that you have. With your diverse backgrounds and the sometimes tough routes that you have taken to get to this moment, you will be assets. You reflect America. And as folks who have often worked your way through school, you have the persistence, you have the character, and you have the integrity to greatly aid any workplace here in Massachusetts. If they, in short, need you. Yes, each and every one of you. But this isn't the message I've heard from just the CEOs. I've heard it from young workers also. I never forget sitting with a group of workers at Facebook. The employees were smart, energetic, and came from all over the world. They were all impressive, but one in particular stood out to me. He was from Lynn, Massachusetts, and very familiar with our work with community colleges. That meeting sent me a message that we here in Massachusetts and you are on the right track. And so all of you in policy circles, experts think of programs like the STEM Starter Academy and the learning community clusters as bridge programs, something that gives students a path to somewhere new, opening up opportunities that were previously out of reach. In that sense, Bunker Hill Community College is also a bridge. It's an institution that gives graduates vital skills, allowing them to move on to four-year institutions or pursue careers in business administration, early childhood development, psychology, criminal justice, and yes, in health science and information technology. I've always been struck by the bridge that looms over Bunker Hill Community College and the Charlestown skyline, the Leonard P. Zakim Bunker Hill Bridge. Half of the bridge's name, like that of this school, reflects Boston's proud history. A legendary battle where local residents struggled for freedom. The other part pays tribute to Lenny Zakim, a courageous leader who fought for diversity, fought to build bridges between people of different races, different ethnicities, and different religions. For some, that is an odd mix. But we know in Massachusetts that we're always strongest when we leverage the past to power our futures. Our successes are most profound when we build them off of a foundation of diversity. In that sense, you, the class of 2017, are the marvelous graduates of this innovative school, and you are perfectly positioned to represent the spirit of Bunker Hill Community College in the staring design above. You, each and every one of you, are ready to take that next step forward. So with that, I say, go take it. Thank you very much.